Is it fair to say now that we're officially an AHL team, or should I just go ahead and bump us down to an ECHL team?
If I pretend the game didn't happen, can we pretend tomorrow morning that this score never existed?
That's not how this works. Titans lose by a touchdown, 7-0 to the New York. Oh, I'm sorry. Where's my head at? I've been reading too much Titans Twitter this weekend, and it's on my brain worrying about if Kevin Byard is going to stay or leave or retire. No, let's try that again. Preds lose 7-0 to the New York Rangers Sunday night inside Madison Square Garden in New York City. When you have as many players out of the lineup as the Preds do, compounded by the fact of losing their captain Saturday afternoon, a result like this was bound to happen. The Preds playing the second half of a back-to-back, so naturally, they went with Kevin Lankinen, hoping to get him a full game so that UC Saros could get a full day's rest. Well, that's about to change, isn't it? The Preds are now also without 6 regulars from their lineup, with the addition of Roman Josi being hurt with an upper body injury. By the sounds of it, the Preds are saying they actually don't know what is the issue as he is being evaluated. So Josi is added to the list of regulars being out of Philip Forsberg, Ryan Johansson, Juuso Parssinen, Alexander Carrier, and Ryan McDonough. And then if you add those 6 to the list of players who have been traded away at the NHL trade deadline, that is now 10 players who are not in this lineup who were on the opening night roster against San Jose. As for this game, the Preds were, at least you'd think, fortunate to be facing Yaroslav Halak, as the Rangers had a big win against division rival, the Pittsburgh Penguins, Saturday, so you thought maybe the Preds would have a decent chance against the Rangers' backup. Well, after initial pressure by the Preds in the first period, well, it's all downhill from there, wasn't it? Keep up, Preds Nation, because what I'm about to tell you all happened in a matter of 10 minutes and 59 seconds. First, off of the rush, and how do I know it was off the rush? Because Yaroslav Halak got an assist on this goal. Phil Hedl comes right on in. The defense of the Preds doesn't really stand much of a chance. He goes in, scores 1-0 Rangers. Now, it wasn't at first like it looked like the Preds were going to fold like a suitcase, because Colton Sissons nearly ties it up 6 minutes in. So you think, oh, just keep that up just like you did initially, and maybe we can still make a game of this. Nope, not happening. Because this is where it starts getting crazy. Nearly 7.5 minutes in, Zibanejad on a one-timer makes it 2-0 Rangers. Not even a minute later, it's getting crazier now. Tyler Mott and the Rangers are getting rolling, makes it 3-0 Rangers. Oh, there's more, because remember, I said this all happened in 10 minutes and 59 seconds of the first. Oh, but let me say before I continue, when it was 3-0 Rangers, I was like, hello, Coach Hines. It's 3-0. How about a timeout? Settle the boys down? Nope. All right, I guess that's your typical behavior of not calling timeouts. So let's play on. Preds would end up taking the first penalty of the game, and a little bit later, when you thought the Preds might escape danger because the Rangers took one, allowing it to be 4-4. Nope, that just allowed the Rangers more skating room, because 4-4, DeAndre Miller makes it 4-0 Rangers. Oh, look, yeah, now John Hines wants to make a motion. Is it going to be a timeout? No. He's going to pull Kevin Lankin and put in Saros on back-to-back games. Yes, that's really smart. You know what would have helped? Call the timeout at 3-0. Preds make the goalie switch. Still no timeout. And Preds then get called for 2-minute men on the ice. 4-on-3 power play Evangelista in the box. And 52 seconds after DeAndre Miller has made it 4-0 on the power play, Artemi Panarin has now made it 5-0. It was at this moment that I felt like I was watching a Stephen King horror flick, with that 18-wheeler barreling over my favorite hockey team, with the driver going, oh, no, the worst wasn't done yet. Rangers are pouring it on here. They need to see how good they can be. And hey, if the Preds aren't going to stop them, by all means, teach this team that I root for a lesson. When the Preds are once again where the Rangers are now, I certainly hope John Hines is nowhere to be seen. Buddy, call a timeout any time here. 3.5 minutes after Artemi Panarin had made it 5-0, the Rangers are treating the Preds like the AHL team that they are, and DeAndre Miller gets his second goal of the period, much less the game, and now it's 6-0 Rangers. The first period finally comes to a merciful end. Rangers trucking the Preds at this point, 6-0. The Preds, if you could believe it, had 6 shots on goal after first period play. You heard me right. The Preds had as many shots on goal as the Rangers did goals. Preds with their first and only power play of the game about halfway through the second period. But of course, without Roman Josi in the lineup to quarterback the power play, the Preds were never really a threat. And Halak is able to see everything coming to him and denies the Preds threat or whatever the heck it was. Overall, in the second, the Rangers are comfortable. They're up 6-0. The Preds really pose no threat to them. The Rangers take their foot off the gas. What are the Preds gonna do? And hey, don't you worry, the Rangers didn't forget how to score. Of course not, because just about 9 minutes into the second period, now it's Kreider's turn to get on the score sheet and make this score even worse for the Preds players and their fans. 7-0 Rangers. Eventually, the second period winds down. Nothing more eventful other than the Preds able to hold Rangers to just 1 goal. That's a win, right? After the chaos that was the first period, it's a win only allowing 1 Rangers goal in the second period, right? After 2 periods, the Rangers have converted the extra point and lead the Preds 7-0. Preds have a penalty to kill that carried over from the second period. And I guess the eventful part of that was Colton Sissons had a breakaway. Oh, no, never mind. No threat. He shot it wide. Yaroslav Halak never really in danger. Nothing really eventful in the third period, besides the fact that Preds not really getting the pressure they need to break the shutout and get a little bit of respectability, but also to their credit. But also, I guess maybe the Rangers not trying as hard. The Preds not allowing the Rangers to get another goal on the score sheet so that the Preds don't break their embarrassing franchise record of 9 goals in a game. Under 4 minutes left, at least there's no reason for Hines to pull Saros super early to get a man advantage with this game so far out of reach. Take the win for the third period of not allowing a goal, and the Rangers win this one mercifully. Final score, 7-0. After the car crash that was this game, how about a fun fact to cheer you all up, if it can cheer you up, courtesy of Kyle Perkins on Twitter. You know what, Preds Nation? Nobody who wore a C or an A on the opening night roster played in this game. Isn't that just amazing? Isn't that just a wonderful stat? For this game, can this just be a one-off with 14 more games left to go this season, please? I know you're probably going to lose more games going forward, but have a little self-respect, please, for the fan base as well, and for my sanity, and not lose this badly leading up to April 14th. I saw the sentiment from Preds Nation on social media that they hope that the number of goals the Preds allowed would equal the number of days at most until John Hines was fired. I will give you good and bad news, at least according to me on that front. Bad news is, at this point, I'm convinced the Preds are going to ride out the rest of the season with John Hines as bench boss. The good news is, I think we're 1 game closer to John Hines being fired. 14 games closer, in fact. This game is everybody's fault. It's the coaching staff for not calling a timeout when need be. It's the players for not showing up. It's the defense for not picking up the slack with Josi. It's Kevin Lankinen for not playing well so that Sauce didn't have to come in for relief. It's a whole kit and caboodle. And I did get a couple of responses to my tweet about how important it was to call a timeout and that how it probably wouldn't have made a difference overall. And that may be true. The Rangers still could have won by quite a bit because the Preds just didn't have it tonight. But you know what a timeout does? It gives respect to the players on the roster. Let them settle down, get a moment to breathe and collect their thoughts. It's more about respect to them that you're taking your blame right then and there as the coach to try and say, okay, I'm sorry, boys. Let's just readjust here and try to play better moving forward. By Not calling a timeout, I take that as a sign of disrespect, John. Next up for the Preds, they take on Buffalo in the city of Buffalo on Tuesday. And historically, the Preds don't do too well in the city of Buffalo. So don't be expecting a lot out of this team against another team from the other conference that's also not in the playoff spot right now. All I can say at this point, Preds Nation, is just be a good, loyal fan base. Ride out this rough terrain that the Preds are driving through right now. And in a year or two, once the Preds start to climb out of this hole and climb that playoff mountain again, it'll all be worth it in a season or two when this generation of Preds prospects starts to turn into something really good. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media by clicking on the channel name. Tell all your friends about Predemption. And as the old saying goes, Preds Nation, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Well, in this franchise's current form, this team just isn't ready for primetime just yet.